Hello there, my name is Keith, and welcome to my WrestleMania preview blog. This blog is going to give me the opportunity of laying the smack down on some of my predictions for WrestleMania 31. Now, if you're looking forward to WrestleMania 31, this is a good primer for you, and if you're not, well, thanks for coming along for the ride. Now, I'm going to go through the matches and tell you who I think is going to be coming out victorious. So I'm going to try to go through this pretty quickly because there's a lot of matches. So first of all, in the kickoff show, you've got a fatal four-way for the tag team title. You've got Tyson Kidd and Cesaro defending their titles against New Day. Had the opportunity of meeting Kofi Kingston at the airport. That was pretty cool. Les Matadors, the Usos, and I guess that's it. That's your four teams. It's on the kickoff show. Does anybody really care? And I don't mean to say that and be mean, but it's one of those things where the tag team title used to be a big prestigious thing. Has anybody heard of the British Bulldogs? Now you've got the tag team title on the kickoff show. So it's pretty much a roll of dice on this one because the tag team title seems to change pretty quickly. I don't think it'll be Les Matadors. I just don't. I don't necessarily think it'll be the Usos either, even though it's in they're pretty much their hometown. I think it could be New Day winning the tag team titles. But again, at the end of the day, you put something on the kickoff show, you can't expect people to get too excited for it. People are still coming in and taking their seat while this match is going on. Which brings us to the second kickoff show, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I think having an Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is a great way to pay homage to one of the great pioneers of this business. But again, it's on the kickoff show. So in terms of who's going to end up winning that, I don't know, Giant, Kane, I don't know. Maybe Ryback. I think people would go absolutely crazy if it was Damien Mizdow. But again, kickoff show, so we'll see. Let's get to the main card, shall we? Okay. You got Randy Orton against Seth Rollins. This is one of those interesting battles where, on one hand, I kind of see Randy Orton pulling this one out, but I'm also kind of thinking that Seth Rollins might pop up later on in the card, and I'll get back to that in a second. Rusev against John Cena for the U.S. title. I don't see John Cena losing this match. I see him winning the title just for the simple fact of when is the last time you saw a WrestleMania where it was USA against Russia or USA against any other country and the USA didn't come out on top. This isn't going to be the first one. I see John Cena winning the title. At the very least winning the match by DQ, but most likely winning the title. AJ Lee and Paige against the Bella Twins. Who wins this? Me. No, seriously though. Who wins this match? It doesn't really matter. The thing of it is that I'm not trying to sound misogynistic and I'm not trying to sound like a pig, but you've got probably one of the more entertaining women's division matches we've seen at a WrestleMania in years. I think AJ and Paige bring a certain dynamic which is very entertaining. Who doesn't want to see a grown woman skip? And Paige, if you go up to most guys, as I've done over the last few days and said, hey, who's your favorite diva? Most of them are coming back and saying Paige because there's just something about her that just resonates with fans. And on the other side of the coin, you've got the Bellas. Ladies I had the pleasure of meeting a little earlier today, so maybe I'm a little biased, but I'll say this. They're extremely entertaining, they're very charismatic, and they keep an audience engaged. I think the Divas division needs a lot more attention than what it's getting, quite frankly, and I think that tomorrow's match is going to be fantastic. So in terms of who's going to win, couldn't say for sure, but I know it's going to be very entertaining, and it's going to be one of those matches that I'm really looking forward to. But that's not really picking a winner. So I'm going to go with AJ and Paige, only because the Bellas seem to have had the upper hand on them over the last few weeks. The Intercontinental title match is going to be decided in a ladder match, and of course, when you think of Intercontinental title matches and title matches at WrestleMania with a ladder matches, you can't not think of Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels. Well, you've got 7 men in it tomorrow, and quite frankly, I think the title is most likely going to go to Daniel Bryan, mainly because Daniel Bryan's come out of the heavyweight title picture, and I think this is going to be a nice consolation for him. But again, I could be wrong. We'll see. Sting versus Triple H. You know, you have to respect Triple H. Can you think of somebody else that has done so much for this business in terms of putting people over? I mean, we've seen him lose to Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. He's lost to The Undertaker 3 times at WrestleMania. This guy will do what he needs to do to put other people over and make their careers shine. I don't see Sting coming into the WWE and losing in his first match. Quite frankly, I think Sting's got something bigger coming down, and I'll get to that in a moment as well. But I'm going to take Sting in this one. It'll be interesting to see what sort of performance Sting can put on at the tender age of 56, but nonetheless, I'm looking forward to this match. The Undertaker and Bray Wyatt. So here's an interesting thing. I, like most of you, was extremely shocked last year when the Undertaker streak came to an end. Now, we haven't seen him for a year and he comes back. The question now is that if the Undertaker loses again at WrestleMania, does it really matter? How much would it do for Bray Wyatt's career to beat the Undertaker at WrestleMania? And that's kind of the way I think it's going to go. My big prediction, and you heard it here first, is Undertaker loses at WrestleMania. Perhaps the next night on Raw, he shows up and says he's going to retire. And then Sting comes out and calls out the Undertaker for one more match at next year's WrestleMania in Dallas. I can see the Undertaker and Sting highlighting what most people would consider the ultimate super fight. And what better way to kickstart WrestleMania 32 than a year-long promotion building up the match that everybody wants to see between Sting and The Undertaker. Consider this. When Brock Lesnar came back to the WWE a few years ago, he didn't go right after The Undertaker. No, he took on Triple H at WrestleMania, and then the following year it was The Undertaker. Could history repeat itself again? So I'm going with Bray Wyatt beating The Undertaker, hopefully setting up a Sting Undertaker super fight at WrestleMania 32. Let's talk now about Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. The thing here is that a couple years ago, the 2014 Royal Rumble, everybody wanted to see Roman Reigns win the Royal Rumble. He didn't. People booed Batista out of the building. And they pretty much booed him at WrestleMania as well, which put Daniel Bryan in the main event. Well, fast forward a year, and Roman Reigns does win the Rumble, and people are booing him. I'm not necessarily sure why. I think he's a pretty good worker, and he does keep me entertained, but not so much for the WWE Universe. Over the last few days, the picture of this title match has changed drastically when Brock Lesnar surprised us all and re-signed with the WWE. His re-signing pretty much says he's here. So there's a couple of things to look at. On the one hand, if Brock Lesnar wins in the main event of WrestleMania, the typical bad guy, you think to yourself, okay, well, people leave and the good guy, Roman Reigns, hasn't won. The flip side of the coin is that after ending the streak, wouldn't it be a shame to see Brock Lesnar lose in the very next WrestleMania? What I think is that Seth Rollins might play a role in this match, and he might cash in the Money in the Bank. He's held on to that briefcase for a long time, and I think he either cashes in the Money in the Bank at WrestleMania or the next night on Raw. I can't see him holding on to it for much longer. I'd like to see Roman Reigns win the title, but I don't necessarily think having the title end on, or having WrestleMania end on people booing would probably be the best thing for the WWE. And every time I've been at any sort of an event this weekend and Roman Reigns' picture comes up on a big screen, people start to boo like crazy. So those are my predictions. What are yours? CFL_fan on Twitter, Facebook.com/Woody Whittier, and WoodyWhittier.com. Those are my fearless predictions for WrestleMania 31. Make sure you check back next week when I'm going to go over a lot of the different things that took place at the event as a whole and just the entire WrestleMania experience. And I hope you have time to check that out. Thanks so much for checking this out, and I'll talk to you soon.